There's something quietly powerful about the very first moment of your day before the noise rushes in, before the phone buzzes, before the world starts asking things of you. That one small moment belongs entirely to you.
And for me, that moment used to feel wasted because every single morning I would wake up and think, I want to get better at English. I want to speak more confidently. I want to stop feeling frozen when I try to say something in a conversation. But then I would look around my apartment and there would be nobody there. Just me, my coffee cup, and complete silence.
That feeling is so real.
It is. And the thing is, I genuinely wanted to practice speaking, not just reading a textbook or memorizing grammar rules, but actually opening my mouth and producing words, real sentences, real thoughts. But who was I going to talk to? I do not have native English-speaking friends nearby. I live alone. I cannot just walk out of my building and find someone to have an English conversation with.
So what did you do instead?
Nothing. That is the honest answer. I did nothing. I told myself, when I find a language partner, then I will start. Or when I have enough time to join a proper class, then I will begin. And meanwhile, weeks passed, months passed, and my spoken English stayed exactly where it was, stuck, silent, going absolutely nowhere.
And that is the exact trap so many of us fall into. Welcome to Mr. English Fluent Tutor, everyone. I'm Anna.
And I'm Abel. We are your two English friends, right here to show you that you do not need a partner to start growing today.
That's right. And today's conversation is going to change how you think about practicing English completely, because we're going to show you a simple 15-minute daily routine that you can do entirely alone, right where you're sitting right now.
No classroom, no tutor, no speaking partner required. Just you, a little bit of time, and the right method.
Before we dive in, if this is your first time here, welcome to the family. If you're returning, welcome back. We love having you with us. Do us a small favor and click the like button right now. It truly helps more learners just like you find this channel.
And subscribe to Mr. English Fluent Tutor if you haven't done that yet. We are here consistently, putting out real, slow-paced, beginner-friendly content for you every single week.
Share this episode with one friend who's also on their English journey. You never know how much that one share might help someone who really needs it today.
And stay with us until the very end of this episode because we have something very special waiting for you, a resource that will genuinely accelerate your progress, so do not leave early.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
So, Abel, let's start with the most important idea of this whole episode. The idea that 15 minutes of intentional English practice every single day is more powerful than one long session once a week.
This is something I had to really learn the hard way because my brain always told me, if you're not studying for an hour, it doesn't count. Like it has to be a big, serious, formal thing or else it's not real practice.
So many learners feel exactly that way.
Right, but that thinking was actually keeping me stuck because I could always find an excuse not to do the big 1-hour session. I was tired, I was busy, I had other things to do, but 15 minutes I can always find before breakfast, during a break, before I go to sleep.
And those 15 minutes, when they happen every single day, they build up into something enormous. Think of it like this. Imagine you want to get stronger physically. If you stretch your muscles gently in your bedroom every single morning for just 10 to 15 minutes, over 3 months, your body starts to change. You become more flexible. You become more capable. Not because you had one huge gym session, but because you showed up gently every day without skipping.
That's such a perfect way to picture it.
English fluency works the exact same way. Small, consistent daily effort reshapes your brain over time.
So let's talk about exactly what those 15 minutes look like, because I think a lot of learners, when they hear practice alone, they genuinely don't know what to do. They sit down, they stare at the wall, and they think, okay, I'm practicing now, and then nothing happens.
Exactly. You need a structure, a simple system, and today we're going to give you one. It has 3 parts, and each part takes exactly 5 minutes.
3 parts, 5 minutes each, that gives you 15 minutes total.
Simple, clean, and incredibly effective. Let's start with number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1 is called the 5-minute narrative zone. Now, let's slow down on that word narrate, N-A-R-R-A-T-E. To narrate means to describe what's happening around you, out loud, using your own words. Like a commentator at a sports event, but instead of a game, you're describing your own life in that exact moment.
Okay, so give me a picture of what this looks like in real life. Like, how does this actually work?
Okay, imagine you are making breakfast in the morning. You open the refrigerator. Instead of just grabbing things quietly, you start speaking out loud, slowly, in English. You might say something like, I am opening the refrigerator. I can see some eggs on the left side. There is also some milk on the bottom shelf. I think I will make scrambled eggs today.
Oh, that is simple. That is genuinely very simple.
It is, and that simplicity is the whole point. You're not trying to deliver a university lecture. You're just putting words to the world right in front of you.
I actually started doing something very similar a few months ago. I was in my kitchen and I just started looking around and naming things. The chair, the table, the window, the cup. And then I challenged myself to go one step further and make full sentences about them. The cup is on the table. The cup is white. I use this cup every morning.
Yes, that is exactly the narrative zone in action.
And at first I felt a little bit silly, like who am I talking to? But then after a few days, it started to feel completely natural, almost like a game.
Because your brain is finally doing the thing it needs to do to become fluent. It is building the habit of converting thoughts into English words in real time. That is the core skill of speaking, and you're training it every single morning in your own kitchen.
And nobody even has to know you're doing it.
Nobody at all. It's your private English space. Now, during your 5-minute narrative zone, here's a small tip. Look around the room you're in and pick 5 different objects. Describe each one in at least 2 sentences. Where is it? What does it look like? What do you use it for? That gives you a natural structure to follow so you never run out of things to say.
That's a really practical little framework. 5 objects, 2 sentences each. You could do that anywhere.
Anywhere, in your bedroom, in the bathroom, on your balcony, at your desk. The location does not matter. Your voice is what matters.
Perfect. Okay, so that's number 1, the 5-minute narrative zone. Let's talk about number 2.
Number 2 is the 5-minute shadow technique. Now this one is a little different. Let's define the word shadow here. When we say shadow, we mean to follow something very closely, almost like a copy. A shadow follows your body wherever it goes. In language learning, the shadow technique means you listen to a short piece of spoken English and then you repeat it immediately, trying to match the speaker's voice as closely as you can. The rhythm, the speed, the rise and fall of the voice.
Like being a human mirror.
Exactly like that. And you know what this reminds me of? Think about the last time you listened to a song you absolutely loved. Not just any song, but one that you knew every single word to, and you started singing along with it, right there in your room or maybe in the shower.
Oh, yes, I do this all the time.
You were not performing on a stage. There was no audience watching you. There was no pressure. You just opened your mouth and let the words come out because the rhythm felt so familiar. The shadow technique works exactly like that, but with spoken English conversations or short English videos instead of songs.
So how does someone actually do this in 15 minutes? Like, walk me through the steps.
Okay, first, find a short piece of spoken English. This could be a short clip from this very channel or any beginner-friendly English video. It should be maybe 30 to 60 seconds long, not a long video, just a short, clear piece of dialogue.
Short is key.
Very short. Then you listen to it once, just to hear it and understand it. Then you play it again, and this time you speak along with it. You try to match the voice as closely as you can. You don't worry about being perfect. You just focus on letting your mouth move along with the sounds.
And what does this actually do for your English?
It does something remarkable. It trains your mouth muscles to produce English sounds naturally. It trains your ear to hear the rhythm of English, and it slowly rewires how your brain organizes spoken sentences. It's one of the fastest ways to improve your accent and your fluency at the same time.
I remember the first time I tried this seriously. I was using a very short English podcast clip, maybe 45 seconds long, and I played it probably 8 or 9 times. Each time I spoke along with it a little more confidently. By the 9th time, I was almost perfectly in sync with the speaker, and I thought, wow, I just did that.
That feeling of keeping up with a native speaker, even for 45 seconds, builds so much confidence.
It really does, because your brain goes, oh, wait, I can actually do this. And that little spark of confidence is what keeps you coming back the next day.
And that's exactly what we want. We want every single practice session to give you one small moment of, I can do this. That's your fuel for the next day.
I love that. All right, so we have number 1, the 5-minute narrative zone, and number 2, the 5-minute shadow technique. Now let's talk about number 3.
Number 3 is my personal favorite.
Oh, tell me everything.
Number 3 is called the 5-minute inner dialogue conversation. Now, let's break that down. Inner, I-N-N-E-R, means inside. Your inner dialogue is the conversation you have with yourself inside your head. We all do it every day in our own language. Should I cook pasta or rice tonight? I think I will go with pasta, but actually rice is healthier. Okay, fine, rice it is.
I have these conversations with myself constantly.
We all do, and most of the time, we have them silently, inside our heads. The 5-minute inner dialogue exercise takes that silent conversation and brings it out into the open. You speak it out loud, in English. Just you, in your room, having a real conversation with yourself about a real decision or a real topic from your life.
Okay, so what does a topic look like? Can you give me an example?
Of course. Let us say you are thinking about your weekend. You might start with a simple question to yourself. What do I want to do this weekend? And then you answer it, out loud, in English. Well, I have not been outside much this week. Maybe I should go for a walk on Saturday morning. Then you push the conversation a little further. Where would I go? There's a nice park near my house. I could go there and just sit for a while. That sounds really nice.
So you're literally interviewing yourself.
Yes, exactly that. You are both the interviewer and the guest. You ask and you answer. And because it is your own thoughts, you never run out of things to say.
This is actually so clever because the hardest part of speaking English in a real conversation is that you have to think of what to say while also producing the words at the same time. And this exercise trains exactly that skill.
Perfectly said. It trains your brain to think and speak simultaneously in English without a translation step in the middle.
And what kind of topics work well for this?
Everyday topics are the best. Things like, what did I eat today? And did I enjoy it? What is something that made me smile this week? If I could change one thing about my morning routine, what would it be? What is a movie I watched recently? And what did I think of it? Simple, honest, everyday life questions.
Those are all topics anyone can talk about. You do not need to be advanced to discuss your breakfast or your morning routine.
You just need to be willing to open your mouth and try. And that willingness is the whole game.
Okay, so let's put the full 15-minute routine together one more time. Number 1, the 5-minute narrative zone, where you describe the world around you out loud.
Number 2, the 5-minute shadow technique, where you listen to a short piece of English and speak along with it to match the rhythm and sounds.
Number 3, the 5-minute inner dialogue conversation, where you speak your own thoughts and decisions out loud in English, like a conversation with yourself.
3 steps, 15 minutes, every single day.
And do you think it really works? Like genuinely, does this actually move the needle?
Abel, I have seen it work firsthand. I have seen people who started this kind of daily solo practice, and within 60 days, they reported feeling dramatically more comfortable producing English sentences, not because they had some magical breakthrough, but because they had shown up every day for 60 days, 60 times, 60. The brain responds to repetition. It always does.
Consistency wins every single time.
Every single time. And the word consistency is one we should hold on to. Let's actually move into our word tour section now, because we have 10 really valuable phrases from today's conversation that we want to review together.
I love the word tour. Let's do it.
All right, our first phrase is practice alone. Very simple. To practice alone means to work on improving a skill by yourself, without a teacher or a partner.
For example, I practice alone every morning for 15 minutes before I start my day.
Beautiful. Number 2, shadow technique. The shadow technique is a method where you listen to someone speaking and then immediately repeat their words, matching their voice as closely as you can.
For example, I used the shadow technique with a short podcast clip, and my pronunciation improved so much.
Number 3, look around. To look around means to slowly observe your environment, to notice what is near you.
For example, I looked around my kitchen and tried to name every single object I could see in English.
Perfect. Number 4, window of time. This is a beautiful phrase. A window of time is a small available period in your day that you can use for something useful, like a small opening or opportunity.
For example, I found a 15-minute window of time between breakfast and work, and I used it to practice speaking English.
Perfect. Number 5, narrate. To narrate means to describe what is happening in a situation, out loud with your own words.
For example, I narrate my morning routine out loud in English every day. I say things like, I'm making coffee, I'm opening the window.
Number 6, think out loud. To think out loud means to say your thoughts as they come to you, instead of keeping them silent inside your head.
For example, when I'm deciding what to cook for dinner, I try to think out loud in English instead of in my first language.
Number 7, consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly, over a long period of time without stopping. It's one of the most important words in language learning.
For example, consistency is more powerful than talent. Practicing English for 15 minutes every day is more effective than studying for 2 hours just once a month.
Perfectly said. Number 8, bite-sized. Something that is bite-sized is small and manageable, easy to handle, easy to complete, like taking a small bite of food instead of trying to swallow everything at once.
For example, breaking my English practice into bite-sized 5-minute sections makes it so much easier to stick to every day.
Number 9, fluency. Fluency means the ability to speak a language smoothly, naturally, and with confidence, without stopping too long to search for words.
For example, I do not need to be perfect. I just want to build fluency, and I know that comes from daily practice.
And number 10, stick to a routine. To stick to a routine means to follow the same plan or schedule regularly, without giving up when it gets a little difficult.
For example, it is hard at first, but once you stick to a routine for 2 weeks, it starts to feel like a natural part of your day.
10 powerful phrases. Every single one of them came directly from today's conversation.
And I want to say to our listeners, please do not just hear these phrases and move on. Use them. Use them today. Pick one of them and put it into a sentence about your own life.
That is such important advice. The vocabulary you actually use is the vocabulary that stays with you forever.
All right, before we close today, I want to take a moment to say something from the heart, because I know that some of you listening right now have been trying to improve your English for a long time, maybe years. And maybe there are days where it feels like you are not moving at all, like the progress is invisible.
I hear that. I really do. And I want you to know this. The fact that you are here, right now, listening to this episode in English is not a small thing. That is a real act of dedication. You chose to spend your time learning today, and that choice matters enormously.
Building a language is a gentle journey. It's not a race, and it's not a test. You are allowed to go slowly. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to have days where you only manage 5 minutes instead of 15. The key is that you come back. You always come back.
15 minutes of practice today, that is a massive win. Please be proud of yourself for showing up.
You deserve that pride. You have earned it. Now, we have a community question for you, and we really want you to answer this one in the comments below. Here it is. What is one object in your room right now that you can describe out loud in English for 1 minute? Tell us in the comments using at least one phrase from today's lesson. Maybe use narrate, or look around, or think out loud.
We genuinely read the comments. Your answer matters to us, and seeing your responses is one of our absolute favorite things about doing this show.
Now, we did promise you something special at the end of this episode, and here it is. If you want to go even further with your English practice, we have an incredible collection of English learning PDFs waiting for you. We are talking about speaking challenge guides, vocabulary flashcard sets, daily practice trackers, and step-by-step fluency guides, all designed to work perfectly alongside the kind of solo practice we talked about today.
And right now, you can get 40% off your entire order using the discount code DEP40. That's the letters DEP and then the number 40. DEP40. You'll find the link in the description below this video. Do not sleep on this one because it's a genuinely valuable resource for anyone at the A2 to B1 level.
Grab it, download it, and start using it alongside your 15-minute daily routine. The two things work together beautifully.
Until next time, live on purpose, keep learning, and be very kind to yourself.
And for me, Abel, I want to send you off with this. Go home, or if you are already home, stay right where you are. Find your 15 minutes today. Open your mouth. Describe the chair you're sitting in. Narrate the sound of the rain, if it's raining. Talk to yourself about what you want for dinner tonight. Do it in English, imperfectly, bravely, and without apology, because every single word you speak out loud today is a quiet act of courage, and that courage adds up. I'm rooting for you every step of the way. Have a beautifully confident, wonderfully peaceful practice session at home. We'll see you in the next one.